and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I have a really fun Christmas card idea to share with you. I'm using several forms of embossing and it's a lot of fun. I'm stamping with the Winter Woods bundle and I'm using this fun little tree. And I'm going to use Dashing Along Designer Series paper. My sentiment is going to be cut from a stitched oval. I'll start the project by stamping my greeting with gray granite ink onto a scrap of white cardstock. I'm going to cut both of these pieces at the same time on my Big Shot, just to save a little work on my shoulder. Once the sentiment is cut out, I'll put that aside and continue to cut away some more of these cute trees. The way this die works is that it not only cuts out the shape of the tree, but it cuts these little places that you can pull the branches up to appear three-dimensional. I'm using 3 different trees on my project, and I want to kind of tie all of the colors together. So we have the red tones, the green tones, and they're very beautiful. For the card base, I'm going to add some texture with the subtle embossing folder. This is a dynamic embossing folder, which means that it has a 3D look. So the sandwich on my Big Shot is going to be a little different. I only need the base plate and 1 cutting plate because that folder is much more thick. I don't need the 2 cutting plates. If you haven't done it this way before, then try it. These are wonderful embossing folders. Now to pick up all of those little branches and kind of make them stay up, because I'm going to add shimmery white embossing paste on the branches. Embossing paste is a really inexpensive and a fun way to add something to a project, and kids love to play with this. And I'm not a kid anymore, but I like to play with it too. So since those branches are standing up, I'm able to easily get the snow, or what would look like snow, to stick to the areas that would look natural. I'm trying to also move some of that paste around the side of each one of the die cuts so that there's not only just snow on the front branches of each tree, but there's also nice coverage on the side as well. Now after I get all of those branches covered, I'm going back down and adding pressure to kind of smooth out some of that snow, because the embossing paste is going to kind of stick up like a little spiky. I have a panel of gray wood grain textured paper that is from the Festive Farmhouse pack of DSP, and I love that DSP pack. It's wonderful. If you haven't checked it out yet in the holiday catalog, I would strongly suggest, because it makes up some wonderful projects. I'm going to glue these trees directly down to the panel, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't get glue on the parts of the tree that will hang over on the outside of that rectangle. All 3 of these trees are going to be adhered with liquid glue. My sentiment is going to have Stampin' Dimensionals, so the sentiment would be my second highest layer. I try to keep my layering down to 2 levels on a project, just so that it stays nice the way I designed it and the mail is not going to crunch things up. The green tree just kind of fades back away for me, so I pulled out this package of red rhinestones, and they are so pretty with this Dashing Along Designer Series paper. It works out perfectly. More gray granite stamp pad on the inside of the card with the little pine cone image, and I'm layering this on another piece of the Dashing Along DSP. I'll add this to the inside of the card with some liquid glue and our project is completed. I really like the way that the embossing on the card base and the embossing paste on the trees work together. And that piece of wood grain in the background also helps there to be a lot of movement in the project. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. If you have any questions that I can help you with, feel free to leave a comment or contact me by email. You can reach me at my blog, www.jennyhalldesign.com. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day!